As we look to bring on the Falcons catcher now in McKenna Hogan for a little player profile. McKenna, how we doing?
Good. How are you?
Not doing bad at all.
It's been a
First,
good day for McKenna, inducted in the NHS, now on running point, and I'm guessing getting ready to leave for Myrtle Beach pretty soon.
Yep. Maddie Taylor and Cindy and I are all driving down tonight.
There you go. I mean, what a day.
Yeah.
What a day.
let's talk about this too. First and foremost, I mean, I think timing is perfect for this. With you going down to Myrtle Beach, you getting inducted to NHS. Just talk to me about the time management skills that you need to have to balance out a softball career on top of being able to put in the grades to get into NHS in the first place, on top of just all the traveling that you have to do too with the said sport and with NHS as well.
Yeah, it's definitely hard. A lot of the times takes late nights after practice, after, lifting, having to get rehab in my arm. It takes a lot of those late nights and hard work just to get in and get those grades. A lot of times during study hall, instead of like hanging out with my friends and Coach Ward, I'll have to get that work done, just to make sure all my work is done and just having to work hard for everything.
You have been dubbed one of the best team players that is on this Austintown FITCH team, and it's full of team players that have team first mentality. But man, you care more about the team than you do any of the accolades and any number that we could spit out about you, and any compliment we could spit out at you on this show. I'm sure you would turn it right back to your team. Where does that mentality come from, and where did you kind of pick up this team first mentality that you have and this team has really?
Well, the team's the most important. I can't do anything without them. They're always there for me, so I'm probably going to be there for them. Especially my pitchers, I'm always going to have their back a lot. So Sydney, last year, Lydia, those frames, but that's their strikeout. So it's always them first. The team's just the most important to me. There's no I in team, so it's all about the team and no me.
Talking about that though, McKenna, you not enough credit for the fact that you've caught a perfect game. You've caught a couple no-hitters this season. I mean, you play a factor into these things being accomplished too for these pitchers. It's not just a solo accomplishment. Talk to me a little bit about that dynamic though, going from last year when you have a senior pitcher in Lydia where she's kind of the one that teaches you the ropes and she's kind of there for you to ask. But now Sydney coming in as a freshman, you're a junior, kind of roles are reversed. So talk to me about going from a pitcher like Lydia to Sydney, where you have to be the one that's kind of being led last year to being the leader now going into the field.
Yeah, last year Lydia taught me a lot and just taught me all the ropes, especially and Coach Becky. So Lydia's mom, she was there for me last year too. And then coming this year in with Sydney, now Lydia's not there, I had to be there for her. And me and Sydney have a great bond, obviously, with best friends. So there's a great bond there. So I was just there to lead her. She's asked me questions a lot, and I'm always there to calm her down. But she's doing amazing. She works hard, so she earns that spot, and she put in all that work for there. So she's doing amazing.
Let's talk about Coach Becky, because there's a great relationship between you two, because obviously Becky calls all the pitches and you get to call some games yourself, and you guys, I'm sure, have a lot of great conversations either before the game or during the game about scouting reports, what this hitter is doing, how to find holes in people's swings, and what pitch is working for your pitchers. What's that dynamic like, and how much have you loved kind of building your softball IQ and being able to do things like that as a catcher that really not a lot of high school catchers are doing out there?
Yeah, Coach Becky has taught me so much. There's a lot of times before games we'll have talks about what each hitter does. We'll look into the hitters before the game, and so we'll watch before the game, and then during the game, since I'm behind the plate, she's to the side. There's a lot of things I can see that she can't. So there's a lot of things I'll tell her in between innings that I would like for her to see or add into the pitch calling, just between those innings. And the pitchers help a lot. Sydney, there's even things Sydney can see or that she knows that I don't. So then between the innings, it's really important. Coach Becky, Sydney, and I, we're in that dugout between every single inning talking about what we can add to the game and what can help.
Getting some love from Coach Ward in the comments. He calls you the backbone of the team.
Ken, I want to talk about this too and just talk about your defensive stats. Anthony has coined you the nickname Gravity for the amount of rise balls you're able to bring back down to earth and not allow to get back to the back fence. And with Sid's rise ball, sometimes it can rise a lot more and you have to kind of get out of that crouch. Only one error, though, in 2 years playing 30-plus games. I mean, how serious do you take the defensive portion of catching too, and how much work goes into you being able to do what you do out on that diamond?
It takes a lot of work and a lot of practice. I've gone to so many catching lessons, not even just for Sydney and Lydia, but my pitcher for travel, Julie. I've gone to lessons with her since I would say about 9 or 10. And those lessons have helped me tremendously because Julie also pitches high. So those lessons have taught me to keep her rise ball down. And that's helped me with Sydney too, since she's so quick and it rises in a split second. You have to have that reaction time. And I've learned that through the years going to all the lessons.
Yeah, and now, I saw on your social media this weekend you're able to give lessons to the future of Austintown Fitch. What's that mean to you to pour into the people that are going to come up after you graduate next year and pour into the future of this program?
It means a lot to me because we're leaving a legacy behind every year. The program's getting better and better, and we're raising the standard. So being able to teach the younger kids that are coming up years after me, it's going to be they're coming in to be better than I was when I came in. And so that means a lot, just so the standard keeps getting raised and our program just keeps getting better year after year.
And talking about that, a lot of people seemingly forget now that we're a couple years removed of it. You basically, last year was your freshman year, in a sense, as far as the high school level is concerned, too. You guys were taking freshman year away from you, too, due to COVID. Talk to me a little bit about that, actually, too, and just going and having your freshman year sort of taken away from you, how you kind of got back mentally to go back sophomore year and be able to accomplish what you did in such a short time period in a turnaround.
Yeah, it was definitely hard having my freshman year taken away because I was obviously so excited. That was my first time catching Lydia, so I was so excited to be able to catch her in a game. And then when that got taken away, a lot of us would get together still. I would still catch Lydia in the summer, even into the fall, even when it was still happening, just so I can keep seeing her. And it was really upsetting. But then coming back sophomore year, knowing I still had Lydia there, and we worked in the off season too, so we were still back right where we needed to be that sophomore year for our freshman year.
You got to talk about playing on this turf that I think right now in this weather, a lot of teams are kind of envious about. They love to get games in, even if it meant they had to get rid of their natural surfaces. It's different. You got to read bunts differently. You got to read balls in the dirt differently. What do you like so much about playing on this facility that Fitch has been amazing in building for you guys in the softball team?
Our facility one is amazing. There's nothing like it. It's amazing. Being the baseball field right behind us, and then the track right behind us, just the support of the community. A lot of the times we'll go watch baseball come watch us, or a track. The community's always there with us, and it's just really amazing to feel the support. But being able to play in the field, and I have people come up to me all the time saying how nice our field is, and I take pride in that, and we take pride in our own field, and we work on that field to make sure it's amazing. And Jonesy, we call him, he's our ground crew. He takes amazing care of our field, and we're really grateful for it.
Love that Jonesy gets some love too. Jonesy always putting in work over there at Fitch.
Yeah.
Never gets enough love. Talking to McKenna about just this team in general. I've asked all the girls this, and I'm going to just continue. How much fun do you have going out game to game with these girls? Because I mean, you guys get loud, you guys get rocking too. And while I say that too, I want to pair that with the 4 home runs in an inning that you got to be a part of too. I wasn't there for the energy and excitement that you guys brought, but take me back through that one too and pair it with how much fun you're having with this team this year.
This team is so much fun. We're all so close. There's no special bonds. We're just all so close as a team. We have so much fun in that dugout with the paddles. Obviously, you can't go without those paddles. We're always so loud together. And then that game with the 4 home runs in one inning started off with Sydney, which it's against Canfield, so we're already excited for that game for a big rival. And then Sydney hits the first home run. We're so excited. I go up there a little bit nervous because obviously it's hard going after Sydney after that home run. I go up there, hit that home run, coming back into the dugout after that. My head hurt so bad just from everyone screaming, hitting my head. We were so loud in that dugout, hitting the paddles on the trash can, the fence. It was just so exciting. This team, we're all so close to each other, and we love each other. So it's just so fun to be in that dugout.
We have yet to add a clear answer on where those paddles came from. They're a mystery of Fitch softball. I think the players want to keep the origins of where those paddles keep popping up from under wraps.
Yep, that's a secret we can't tell.
Yep, can't reveal it. I was trying to get it from you, thought we might get a Running Point exclusive, but that's okay. Everyone's entitled.
I've
to their
definitely
opinion.
seen those paddles before in high school when I went to FITCH High School.
Yeah.
So I don't know where they got them, but I remember I've seen them before.
They just keep showing up. We hide them in our bag. Coach Ward tries to take one, we get another one, and then they're always in our bag. I have
I
like
love that. I love that they just keep showing up. There's just
We
more.
need to. There needs to be like a FITCH softball commercial where like he's taking our paddles and they're just.
You got room on your wall for a paddle, Anthony? I definitely do. I
Oh, you
I could
do.
throw a paddle
I
on
can
my
put it
wall.
right next to the Tennessee softball stuff. FITCH softball paddle. McKenna, talk about catching Sydney Watts and how much your hand hurts after catching 68 miles an hour.
Well, I have to get a new glove, so that tells you anything. My hand, I'll walk off that game. My hand's red, swollen, and then going back the next day, I mean, the same thing. It's definitely hard, but I wouldn't change it for the world. I love it, and it's so fun. And she throws gas, so it's so fun to catch her.
I mean, talking about being a role model for a team going into an upperclassman year, I mean, what else can you say? We opened up the interview saying you made it to National Honor Society on top of just balancing out everything you do. Going into your junior year, you're now one of the upperclassmen for this team. So now you're going to be asked a little bit more of, and you're going to be asked to take on a little bit more of a leadership role. What were some of the things that you really took in going into this year and being a leader, and some of the biggest things you really wanted to, I guess, showcase the standard for Falcon softball?
Definitely hard work. Playing for FITCH softball, you have to work hard, and that's what a lot of us do as upperclassmen. Especially doing extra lifts. A lot of the times, Matt Taylor and I will do extra lifts just to get that extra work in, and that's one thing I want to show to the underclassmen, that we never stop working. We don't take a day off. Matt Taylor and I, or just all of us, will stay after if we need to get swings in if something's wrong. So just working hard and being dedicated to the team and putting the team first is definitely something I want to show the underclassmen.
Obviously, with NHS, the schoolwork's very important to you. So we got to ask about the student aspect of your life and what some of your favorite subjects are and what you really like learning about in school.
My favorite subject would probably be science or like chemistry. That's definitely my favorite, or math. I'm not really a big history person, but like chemistry and math is definitely my favorite part.
Definitely, Coach Ward is going to be heartbroken if you leave those paddles at home for Myrtle too.
Yeah.
If somehow they don't find it all the way down to south.
Do you have one right now?
It's in my softball bag. Yep, it's in my car right now.
I love it. I love that they keep them too. They showed them to me the one game too. They're colorful paddles, and they'll definitely have to showcase them.
If we leave them out, he'll take them, so we got to keep them in our own bag.
you gotta conceal them.
Next player profile, they're gonna bring a paddle on Running Point.
I should have brought mine.
One on the air.
McKenna, I gotta ask though, with this FITCH community, and we talked about the support. Anthony and I were talking about just how good FITCH is as far as getting kids involved in sports at a young age too. Talk to me where this love for softball started, and just the FITCH community, how appreciative you are of the support you've gotten over the last few years.
Yeah, my love for softball started when I was about 8 or 9. I started in the Austin Community League because my brother played and my dad was a coach. So that's how I started coming into it. And just from there, there's people that come up to me still from those days when I was 8 or 9. They're like, I remember when you were younger. And just coming up from that in the community is amazing. Big shout out to my favorite would be Biggie Short. I call him. He was at a few of my games. He was the one in the wheelchair, but he's been my biggest supporter just from the community. Just throughout these whole years, I've talked to him since I was 8 or 9. He still talks to me every game. And just the community is amazing. They support us through everything. I'll be out just the one day me and Sydney were at Chick-fil-A and someone came up to us about being on TV and how amazing we're doing this year. So the community has a lot of support for us, and it's amazing.
Let's talk about role models that you've had in the softball world. It could be college players. It could be players that you've watched in high school. Who do you look up to while you grew up in the softball journey?
One I've always looked up to, her name's Casey Ross. She played for FITCH a few years ago. She's Joe Ross' older sister. She was a catcher, and she helped me a lot coming into FITCH. She talked me through a lot of things. So she is one role model and definitely one person I look to a lot.
And McKenna, before we let you go, we always like to give all of our players a chance to shout out their support system, those that have been in the bleachers from all the way to Pee Wee softball, all the way up through varsity levels. So go ahead and shout out your support system.
Definitely want to shout out my parents. They've been there for me through everything. They go to every single travel tournament. everywhere. I've gone all around the states. I've gone to Myrtle Beach, and they're at every single game in those stands, and the support's amazing. And my brother, he's at everything too, Garrett. So just my family has a lot of support, and just my friends come and see me. So there's just a lot of support that I'm really grateful for.
All right, some rapid fire before we let you go, McKenna. What is the go-to hype song to get ready for a game?
My favorite would be Chicken Fried. That's my favorite song.
What's the go-to post-game meal for you after a big win?
Definitely either Chipotle or my dad's steak.
See, okay, now can you mix those two? Because I know there's steak, and then you get the Chipotle bowl, you throw the steak in there.
No, my dad's steak, you have to have it by itself. It's too good mixed with anything else.
Too good.
Yeah,
McKenna, a good book or a good movie?
My favorite movie is Grown Ups.
Well, there you go. A good movie. I don't think Grown Ups is a book. I don't think that would be a very funny book.
I don't read books.
I don't read books. He's an NHS. I don't read books. What's one thing, the most exciting thing you're looking forward to in this Myrtle Beach trip?
This Myrtle Beach trip, we're going on a big obstacle course together. So that's one thing I'm really excited for. And just a room with my teammates because we're rooming together. So just to get to know them is my favorite.
I'm going to give you a chance to throw a little fun shade at a player because obstacle courses require a lot of hand-eye coordination. I know softball players are athletic, but sometimes they don't always have the best obstacle course skills. So if you had to pick one teammate that might have an epic fail on an obstacle course, who would you pick?
Sydney Watts.
Right. Also, you're getting the rise ball so fast in your next game. And she's gonna say, "Yeah, how's that feel?" Loudest player in the dugout. We've asked every player this in their post game. We gotta ask you.
Allie Foley, definitely the loudest.
She's gotten some votes, right, Ty?
Allie Foley getting a few votes. It's between her and Kayla Schubert is what I keep hearing too.
Kayla's loud, but Allie has those paddles against that trash can, so nothing can beat that.
Is that Allie started that?
Yeah,
how many umpires have given you
the paddles?
How many umpires have given you guys dirty looks for the paddles?
Definitely a lot. We've only got one warning though this season.
Stay away from that. Always have fun, McKenna. We appreciate your time. We always love having you on, and we look forward to continued success. We'll talk to you again real soon.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.